Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. We've made it to another Beer 30. There you go. Cheers. Today's selection, Chernybach by Bohemian Brewery, which is my favorite brewery here in Utah. And they have great food, too. If you're ever in the Salt Lake area, the Chernybach, of course, obviously is their one of their dark beers, and I'm lucky enough to be able to get. You can see the 12-pack deal right there, so I'm able to get this right in the grocery store. So, but I was in the mood for a darker beer today, so there we go. Not quite completely like a porter or anything. I mean, you can still see through it and everything. So there you go. So please also click like, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, so I don't forget. Also, on a separate note, so I don't forget this, I am at 490 subscribers on Twitter. I would love it as a Christmas present to hit 500 subscribers before Christmas. That would be awesome. So if there's any help you can do with that, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. So, for this Beer 30, I think we are going to talk about a couple things that I noticed. Got my new Bob's Burgers shirt on there. One of the best programs. One of the best programs for just sitting, relaxing, not having to think, and just kind of just, kill some time, watch. One of the best. We'll talk about some gaming news stuff that I saw today. A couple different things that piqued my interest and might pique yours as well. So we can do that. I didn't get a lot of questions, so to speak, from the marathon session recap. A lot of comments and so forth. I was very pleased by the amount of people that must have watched to the end, because the mentions of variegated Nauticus were many. I was really shocked by that. I didn't think that many people would have watched the full hour. I'm sure some people had to cut it up into chunks, and didn't watch it all in one sitting or whatever, but I was kind of shocked by that. So appreciate that, because the more view time a channel videos get on a channel and so forth, it all counts towards monetization eventually at some point, hopefully. So anyway, so today's let's we didn't quite go over the complexities of the ale. So the way I would describe this, if you like a brown ale, like say Newcastle brown ale, or anything similar, any type of brown ale that's classified specifically as a brown ale, this is just a skosh darker in flavor, as in the roastedness, in the roastiness of the malt or whatever, and the type of hops, whether it's the dark chocolate or dark chocolate malts and different types of hops that give a roasted, a more nutty flavor and so forth. This is just a little bit more intense than a regular brown. They call it a Bock, but it's delicious. So, okay, let's move on. So I saw today that Steam put out there's some type of algorithm they use for their best ranked games of 2021 of the year. And what I found interesting about this was, except for maybe one of the ones on this list, and I'm going to read them off to you. There's only one that I think I even recognize, that I've even heard of. The rest of them are games I never even heard of. Certainly never played. So here we go. The number one, it starts, well, I'll start at 10 and then work my way down. So, Before Your Eyes, never heard of it. That was the number 10 rank. This is for rankings, like when they, you have positive, overwhelmingly positive, etc., the ratio of it, what they do is the algorithm takes the good reviews versus the bad reviews, and it comes up with a percentage. And these are the highest percentage ones on Steam for 2021. Before Your Eyes was number 10. Tiny Bunny was number 9. Town Scraper was number 8. Power Wash Simulator. I used to do power washing. I was a maintenance guy. Did power washing. Not that fun. I mean, the first couple times you use the power washer, yeah, there's a little bit of a fun factor to it because you're basically using a giant super soaker. That wears off pretty quick. But apparently someone made a power wash simulator. That's okay. And it's one of the highest ranked games of the year. Here's the only one I had heard of. The Room 4 Old Sins. The only reason I'd heard of that one is because I'd seen all the other previous. I own a couple of the first one, The Room and Room 2 maybe, I think. But I had seen The Room 4. Coming in next, Cookie Clicker. Whatever Cookie Clicker is. The next is Firework. Not fireworks with an S, just Firework. So maybe is that a game about simulating for like forest fires, forest firefighters, like smoke jumpers and that kind of stuff. Maybe. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Rhythm Doctor. Dyson Sphere Program, which is very coincidental that's on this list because I would have not known what a Dyson Sphere is, but I think it was yesterday, I literally just saw the episode on Star Wars: The Next Generation about a Dyson Sphere. So I might actually go back and check and see if this is specifically the same type of Dyson Sphere that was in the Star Trek Next Generation episode. And then the top ranked game for the whole year on Steam was Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Never played it, never heard of it. So now that doesn't mean those are the best selling. Those are the best ranked by the people that the players and the people that bought the game and everything like that. So feel free to commentate and comment down below and let me know what you think about that list. Because I mean, obviously there's a thing to this games being ratioed, where the developer does something that pisses somebody off or whatever, and then it goes out through social media and people just review bomb the shit out of something. Whether they've even bought the game, owned the game, played the game, or whatever, I guess on Steam, in order to leave a review, you'd have to own the game at minimum. But I don't know if it would stop somebody from buying a game, leaving a negative review, and then getting their money refunded because they have a 100% refund policy on Steam if you haven't played for a certain number of hours and it hasn't been a certain number of days. If you don't meet either of those criteria, as long as you don't surpass either of those criteria, you can get your money back, and for no reason. You don't have to have a reason. You just say, "I want to return this game. I want my money back." Boom, done. So I don't know if you did that, if it would it should yank your review from the Steam store as well. Hard to say. So anyway, that was the first thing. Second thing I want to talk about was we haven't talked about New World in a while because I haven't been playing it. I don't have any intention of jumping back in for a while until I know that it's stable and so forth. But there was an interesting article I saw today in PC Gamer where they interviewed one of the developers for the game. And he said, yeah, we made some mistakes because we went too fast. And what he was talking about, the context was that if you remember, your resident vintage gamer said in a few videos back when I was doing New World videos, and they came out with the very first new content added to the game since launch, where they added the Void Gauntlet and some other stuff. I said, the comment I made was, that seems awful. It's a bad look when the game is still not stable. It's still having horrible exploits being done, having to shut down the economy repeatedly because of exploits and duping and so forth, and you're going to launch new content. I said it's a bad look because it looks like you're like, okay, well, so what if the game isn't running worth a shit? Let's just go ahead and put this new stuff out anyway to try and attract new players. But he says, well, we went too fast, etc. Now he explains that they're able to do both. They're able to work on fixing the game and developing new content because it's different teams and so forth doing all that. So one doesn't impact the other. Just the fact that they're working on new stuff does not impact the fact that they're trying to fix the game because they're separate teams and so forth. My point was, even without having that knowledge of separate teams and all that bullshit, my quote was, not my quote, because I don't remember exactly what I said, but my sentiment was, it's a bad look. Perception is everything. It looks like you're focused on getting new shit out when you haven't fixed the game yet. And so here he is in this article, and he's acknowledging that exact thing. That, yeah, they went too fast. It didn't look good. You got to listen to the vintage gamer, guys. Every once in a while, I'm speaking to the game developers now, not my audience, unless game developers are part of my audience, which I doubt. But every once in a while, you got to listen to the guy with the gray beard who's been playing games on the user end for over 40 years. I speak for a lot of gamers when I talk about stuff like perception and if it's a bad look or if it's a good look, that type of thing. You know, a converse viewpoint or example would be Arkham Knight. I believe it was Arkham Knight in all the Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games. I believe it was Arkham Knight that came out, and it was horribly bad. It was horribly unstable. It had all kinds of bugs. I mean, and it got review bombed, rightfully so, because it was horrible. And Steam, that was when Steam came up, I believe, after that is when they came out with their refund policy. It was because of that was one of the reasons they came out with it. Because a lot of people wanted their money back, and so they wanted to get rid of that. You refund it, get it refunded, and give it back, and all that other stuff. If you remember, the developer pulled that from the consoles and Steam and said, we're going to pull it. We're not going to sell any more. We're going to fix it, and then we're going to put it back. And that's what they did. Now, if you go on Steam now, Arkham Knight actually has overall positive reviews because they fixed the game, they put it out, and everybody liked it, and people bought it again. And it was that's a good look. That looks like you have integrity. You're trying to make sure that the customer knows that you acknowledge that you put out a piece of shit, or you put out a game that wasn't finished, it was half-baked, whatever language you want to use. You acknowledged it, you owned it, you said, we'll take it back, we'll fix it, and then we'll launch it again. And that was a good look. On the other hand, with New World, as I said, it was a bad look. And now they've, at least in this interview, they've owned that part of it. So, anyway, I thought that was interesting. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, they also showed some screenshots on PC Gamer for the new System Shock reboot that's being done. Those that have not ever played anything in the System Shock franchise, I never played the original System Shock. I didn't even know what System Shock was. I just remember when System Shock 2 launched. And me and my buddy bought it at the same time. And we were able to play co-op. And it's one of the best gaming experiences I've ever, to date, that I've ever had, was playing System Shock 2. Incredible. You guys can Google it. You can look at because I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. I'm not even going to come close to spoiling anything. System Shock 2 remains, and they've done a remaster, if I remember correctly. I think I have the remaster now. Basically just updated graphics, which was fantastic. But from a story standpoint and a environmental standpoint of how the game, it's a first-person shooter. fantastic. They're rebooting the original, it sounds like, because it does not say it's a reboot of System Shock 2. It's the original. And they showed some screenshots. And if it's anything like the sequel was, if they redo it and this is as good or better than System Shock 2, I'm all in. So anyway, if any of you have ever played that, you can comment below. Please don't spoil anything for anybody that has never, because you could, anybody that hasn't played it, you can go on, I don't know what it costs on Steam, whatever it is, it's worth it. You can go on and get System Shock 2, the remastered one with the updated graphics. Play through that sumbitch. You will be glad you did. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about on Beer 30. Just wanted to have a leisurely little beer here. All this talking makes me thirsty. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Everything, all the views, all the likes, all that stuff. If I hit 500 Twitter followers for Christmas, that's only 10 more. That would be fantastic. So anyway, guys, I think Thursday we have a live. I didn't do Sunday last night. That'll be the first live I've done in a while. So we'll see you on Thursday for the live. And until then, we'll catch you on the flip side.